What's up guys, today I'll be showing you guys how to put together and install a J35 throttle body for our 8th gen Civic SI. The reason why I have these taped off is because I have done the throttle body coolant bypass, and if you haven't done it, don't worry about it, just plug back in the coolant hoses. If you buy your throttle body brand new, it should come with this vacuum fitting for our 8th gen because we do not use a map sensor, and I'll link in the description below one of the website that sells it that comes together like this. It also comes with a thermal gasket, which is good, so it's all plug and play. Alright, first you have to remove the map sensor with a screw right here, just like that. It will also have an O-ring right here, so you won't be leaking air. So you have to remove that with a flathead and put onto the new vacuum fitting, which is right here. And after that, just plug it back in and screw it back on. Make sure it is tight, and you can go ahead and remove this piece. And that's all. Let's go to the car. Oh, and I forgot, this vacuum fitting doesn't come with this screw on, so you'll have to screw this part into this with a 13. Make sure it's tight. It won't go all the way in. It'll look like that, but it's good. Alright, so first things first, you have to remove the throttle body. But to remove the throttle body, you have to remove the intake part. If you have a stock, you have to remove this piece, the intake part by the throttle body. You don't have to remove the whole intake, just the intake that's connected to the throttle body. I have a Skunk 2 quarter intake, so I'll be showing you guys how to remove it this way. First, loosen these 3. After you have loosened all 3 on your Skunk 2 quarter intake, you'll want to remove this coupler. Just to remove it, just wiggle it back and pull it out, just like that. Mine was ripped before. Yours will not be like that, don't worry about it. Okay, now remove 4 bolt that's holding down the throttle body to the intake manifold. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You might be wondering why I have blue tape on my coolant connected to my throttle body. I have done the coolant bypass. You don't know what that is, you can go look it up on the forums. But doing that just makes the install a lot easier. You also want to remove this part, the vacuum hose, and disconnect this. They're all 12mm bolts. Just want to let you guys know. 2 of these will be nuts, and the other 2 will be bolts. Just like that. Put that to the side and loosen this and remove the vacuum and take this off. Unplug it. Oh, and you still have the coolant connected. Remove it and make sure you don't spill a lot of coolant out. And after you're done, just remove it, and as you can see, I already have the gasket in. But you will have a metal gasket and it might break, so you want to replace it with this one, thermal gasket. And it should come right off just like that. To give yourself more room for the Skunk 2 quarter intake, remove this part, loosen that, and take this part off and just put it to the side. That gave you a little more room, but it'll be enough. Okay, now for J35, it just bolt right up like stock, like that, and you connect the vacuum back, connect this back, and all the 4 nut and bolt. Oh, and when you put in the thermal gasket, make sure it's correct, because if it's not correct, if you flip it upside down, you could be leaking from the bottom here. So make sure it's lined up correctly with the intake manifold. Make sure it's tight. plug this back in. Before putting everything back together, to prevent leaks, make sure all the nut and bolt are tight. Make sure this is tight, and remember the O-ring, make sure the O-ring is in, and make sure the gasket is lined up correctly with the intake manifold so it won't leak. And now just connect the coupler back on. This coupler is a bit too small, but it'll work fine. You just have to put it in and make sure one of your finger goes through the inside and pull up the coupler and make sure it fits. You should have connected your coolant hoses before you put this coupler back on. And then what you want to do next for this part, because it won't fit perfectly, what you want to do is put in this side first, like that. You have to wiggle your intake a little bit, but that'll be fine. Make sure it's in like that, one side only. The bottom side is still open. And then what you want to do is, while pushing this down, you want to pull this up a little. Do not put too much pressure on this because it might break. See, like this, and just pull this up, kind of like this, and then just pull this down. Just like that. And before you tie all these back together, make sure the coupler covers at least the whole intake, and make sure it's all inside this the door body, and then tighten up this and these two. You do not need a tune to run J35 or even Flash Pro. I've had a buddy who ran the J35 Throttle body without any tune whatsoever. But for this gun to cold air intake, you will need a tune. But if you're on short ram or stock intake, you'll be fine. After you're done, one last important thing to do is reset your ECU. To do that, you have to disconnect your negative and positive terminal, and then touch them together for about 5 minutes. Make sure they don't touch any metal parts, just to be safe. Alright, so to be safe, I got my battery covered. What you want to do is touch the negative with the positive terminal together for about 5 minutes. If you don't want to hold it for 5 minutes, you can zip tie them together for 5 minutes, and then afterwards you just connect them back together, back to the battery, and that will reset your ECU fully. It'll be a little tough to put them together because all these wires are so short. So this is how it'll look like when you get it. I zip tie because I don't want to hold it for 5 minutes. And guys, I'll be having a full race exhaust coming in pretty soon, so I'll be doing an install video on that too. After about 5 minutes, cut the zip tie and reconnect the battery terminals. Reconnect the positive first and then the negative. When you connect the negative terminal, it might give out a spark, but don't worry about it, it's nothing. Then you want to tighten them down. Alright, done. Next step, you want to go turn on your car and leave it sitting. Do not rev or touch anything, just leave it on for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I'll say 15 minutes to be safe. Leave it on for 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, turn it off. And then turn off your car, then turn it back on and go give it a drive. Do not rev, do not touch anything, just leave it on. 15 minutes, I say. And if it was to be leaking air somewhere, your RPM would be raising up and down, it would fluctuate up and down. So if it's like this, it'll be good. Here's how it looks like after about 5 minutes. Okay, it has been 15 minutes. My fan did kick on for about 15 to 20 seconds and it turned right off. Then after 15 minutes, just turn off your car. Completely off, key out. Turn it back on. The idle is kind of high when you're rolling, but you need a tune for it to run perfect. It will not run perfectly because you will need a tune. It's sucking a lot more air than before. Alright, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment any questions if you have any. Thank you.